Okay, so are we going to change gears now? Is that what we're doing? We're switching it up, and I don't even know if we're backpedaling at this point, or are we just making a business decision and changing gears? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 5, episode 11. And like I said, I'm just trying to figure out, are we actually just switching up and changing gears? Is it a business plan? Or, because I'm sorry, but I just don't believe that it's genuine. And I'm talking about Monique. I really am. Anyway, we're going to get to it. Anyhow, first things first. This episode, we started off, this whole thing was about Ashley and Giselle basically being invited to go home with Karen for her homecoming. So she said, those were the only two that she really felt comfortable with taking them on with her. And I'm sure, I don't know why she didn't. Well, she probably did because of the stuff that's going on with Monique and Candiace. She probably would have invited both of them before everything went down, and then, to have to pick one. That's probably why she stayed out of that. But anyway, she took Ashley and Giselle. And in the long run, as far as I was concerned, she probably shouldn't even taken Giselle. Giselle is shady. She is so shady. I would have took her nowhere. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't have took her nowhere. But anyway, so that was that whole thing. So she made her decision, called everybody, got everybody on board. Good old Ashley is actually leaving the baby. Could you believe it? She left the baby home, and then she did this confessional, and I was like, Ashley, girl, just leave it alone. Because you know what? When you mention your husband, you just open the door for a read session, and people will try to let you have it. And she said basically, well, I don't do so good leaving Michael alone for too long, but I'm only going to be gone for 2 days, so I just put a tracker in his booty. He didn't even notice it was in there. It just slipped right in. I said, girl, you just read him down. I said, girl, the people won't get you out of here. But you just read your husband down. You slipped the tracker in his booty, and he didn't even notice it was there. Joe, that's a read, honey. That's a read. Anyway, I said, whatever. Moving on. Child, the confessionals are always the death of the people on these doggone reality shows. Anyway, moving on. Robin and Candiace had a little sit down. How about Robin said that she was basically kind of upset about Karen for not publicly showing her disdain with the way that Monique had actually handled any of this stuff. And I'm like, Robin, you doing too much. You're doing too much. Why does she have to come out and publicly bash her? She's not publicly bashing Candiace. So why does she have to? Um-mm, I don't agree. I'm sorry. I don't agree. I don't. I just don't think this even has anything to really do with Karen. And I feel sorry for Karen because I feel like Karen at no. It wasn't her choice. She's kind of stuck in the middle. There's a lot of times when people say they're stuck in the middle of stuff, and they really ain't stuck in the middle. They put their stinking ass in the middle. But this time, for this, I think Karen actually ended up in the middle of this, and I feel bad for her because she truly does. And I said this on my last review. I believe in my heart that Karen truly feels for both those ladies. I think she really loves the two of them like daughters, and I don't think she wants to have to make a choice. You know what I mean? But anyway, this gets a little more interesting as we go forward because as soon as they started talking about it, they were talking about how Monique has actually been in the blogs and stuff and on Twitter and different places that she just she's not showing any remorse. And she basically had actually said, well, because actually Robin was talking to her too about the whole thing of them being over at Karen's house and, her not being there. She basically told her, she's not remorseful. And that damn Candiace got to crying. I said, okay. So what you crying for again? She's crying because she didn't show any remorse. Of course, she whooped your ass, honey. When she was whooping your ass, she didn't show any remorse. She was tearing you up, girl. She didn't feel sorry for you. She was tearing your ass up. So why are you so shocked that she doesn't feel remorse? Girl, if you get close to her again, because that's what she was saying after a week, that she wanted to be close to you some more so she could tear your ass up some more. So, girl, shut up. Anyway, moving on. Then it came out, this one I said got a little interesting. Karen actually had said to Candiace something about pressing charges. You know, saying, would you be pressing charges? Because saying if it was her, she would have been pressing charges. See, now, Karen, girl, I get you not taking sides, but when you make comments like that, girl, you need to know, you had to know that comment was going to revisit you, that you had actually said that. And I can just imagine, honey, whenever Monique hears that you said that, she's going to be hot. Hot, hot, hot. Like fish grease. So I was like, oh. So in the middle of all that, I was like, yeah, Robin. It came out here, honey. Robin was doing all this chit-chatting, but Robin had a little something going on herself, didn't she? Miss Robin then got messed up with some taxes. I said, oh, Robin, damn. So, girl, you worrying about Candiace and Monique, and you got Uncle Sam on your back. Baby, trust me, your fight is much more deep than their fight. And I think you'll come out with many more scratches than they did with that little fight with Uncle Sam, because he don't play any. But she got some tax issues on some unreported income. I said, oh, girl, no, honey. No, girl. You don't want to do that, honey. Listen, all you all, honey, pay attention. Come close to the screen, my loves, honey. All you YouTubers, honey. Y'all know what I'm talking about, honey. You all know who you are. That's one of the worst things in the world, honey. Don't get caught up, honey, in unreported income. Anyway, child, listen, that's my PSA for this one, honey. Public service announcement, honey. Pay your taxes, honey. Anytime you get the 1099, pay your taxes. I'm so shady. Anyway, 1099, honey. Federal. Pay your taxes. Y'all, you don't want to be running from Uncle Sam, honey. You don't want to be running from Uncle Sam. It's different than running around on these YouTube streets, honey. You don't want to be running from Uncle Sam. Federal, honey. 1099s, honey. Anyway, moving on. So she had said, Juan was a little upset. But she said she had been doing her taxes herself. That's what actually happened. And she had some filing mistakes. I said, cheap bitch. Why are you trying to do your taxes yourself? Robin, listen, and then listen, later on in the program, Juan even said to her, that's on you. I said, oh, he told her, that's on you. I said, okay. But she made some mistakes, and she, like I said, she has some unreported income, so got herself into some trouble, and then it ended up hitting the blogs, doesn't everything. A mess. Juan was mad, but not so mad that it was really causing too much of a problem. Later on in the episode, Juan and Robin ended up having this little date, honey, and they did this little role play. It was horrible. Horrible. She thought she's from Latvia. I said, girl, stop. He said, from where? Child, they got to going back and forth. She came to the bar with I don't know where she got that wig from. That wig said Maywood all over it, honey. It was terrible. I said, that's a horrible wig. It was just knotted up. I said, Anyway, but yeah, she was looking crazy. But they was a cute little role play date, and that was that. I said, ugh, okay. Anyhow, moving on. So he ain't too mad. He kissed her in public, honey. Check that out. Anyway, now then we goes on down. They get to Karen's. Remember, Karen grew up on a farm. So we've heard her say this before, but no, she really grew up on a farm, like for real, serious business, on a farm, like ain't no joke. She grew up on a farm. I said, oh shit. Big old beautiful land, like beautiful land. And then we got to see Karen's family, and y'all know I be giving Karen a hard time. I do. I give the grand dame a hard time. I always have. I've always given her a hard time, but I live for Karen. I enjoy her. I do, and it was fun to see the rest of her family. Her family, they got strong, strong genes. She said that, but they do. They have strong, strong genes. They all really do favor. They favor the males are actually good looking. Like every one of the males that we saw were actually good looking. I said, check them out. So we know your looks actually look good on a male, you know. Because she is the son and she is the daughter. And her daughter, Raven, does look like Karen. But they're, you know, they're mixed with the other parent and stuff. So they're okay. But the girl child, listen, they all look alike. And then we seen her Aunt Colleen, honey. Baby, Aunt Colleen is Karen, honey. She looks just like that Aunt Colleen. I said, and you can see Aunt Colleen, honey. She got grand dame all over her, honey. I said, that's a shady little lady, honey. I said, I think I likes that Aunt Colleen, honey. I see her, but she looks like a spitting image of her Aunt Colleen. I said, oh my gosh, she looks just like her. So it was really good to see them. Like I said, that farm, it was really, really beautiful. They got to go up on this really big tractor with one of her cousins, and Ashley went up. Ashley had on these pink heels. I said, "What is you doing?" She had this cute jumpsuit on though. Ashley was this off the shoulder jumpsuit. I said, "Girl, wait a minute now. You know me, lawn level off the shoulder little situation going on. That was a cute little jumpsuit, but she put on these pink high heel boots." I said, "Did they tell you was going to the farm?" Even Giselle wasn't. Well, Giselle's outfit looked terrible as normal, but at least she had on flats. But anyway, Ashley and Karen got up in the big tractor thing with her cousin and that. So all that was really, really cool. I enjoyed that. That's that. Moving on. They started getting into a little conversation about the girls. And Karen was saying, I don't want to get into it. She didn't really want to do too much talking about it and stuff like that while, they were dealing with it. She's like, I ain't really trying to get all into it real deep, right? So I was like, smart. And baby, they would sit up there, honey, that Ashley's a mess. Anyway, Monique, poor thing. Giselle ain't feeling you at all whatsoever. At all. Honey, Giselle was like, she is a liar. She's a liar. And what she's saying, everything that she's saying is just bull crap. I said, oh, she ain't hearing it. And then the little thing came up where Karen said, I told her, that about pressing charges and stuff, that I would probably press charges if that were to happen to me. And they were saying, girl, does Monique know that you said that to Candiace? And she said, I don't know if she knows. She should know, but I'm going to definitely let her. When I get back, I'm going to let her know. I'm going to let her know that I did. So I think you should. I think you should definitely have that conversation, because that's going to come back to bite. And I don't know where y'all going to go after that. You know how people are, honey? Because that's really a comment you could have kept to yourself. Because you were really playing the center and not you. You probably should have kept that to yourself. I don't know how that's going to go, sis. That's a bad place to be. Anyway, let's talk about Wendy. Wendy was sitting down with her sister, and this was something, and Charles, some of y'all gonna be mad at me right now, but Wendy was talking to her sister. Poor Wendy. Wendy is actually afraid. She's afraid to have this conversation with her mother. She's afraid to have the conversation with her mother because, one, she doesn't want to let her mother down, and two, she doesn't want to feel the wrath of her mother about what her decisions are. She doesn't want to teach anymore. Okay? So what Wendy actually had put forth here and made us understand that in the Nigerian community, her mother is actually looked at very this. So she's not just that. That's the way that the Nigerian community actually views her. And it's all because one of her daughters is a surgeon and the other daughter has a PhD. So they are both basically doctors. And that gives her a social status of in the Nigerian community. And so she knows that once she decides she doesn't want to teach anymore and she's going another direction, then her mother can't harp on that. And that will change her social status. I said, oh, that's backwards and horrible. That's horrible. And it's horrible to be put in a position that your mother, I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this. Child, your mama's shallow, honey. She's shallow. The fact that if she really goes there like that and you want your daughter to be miserable just so you can keep your social status, honey, that means that you're shallow. You are shallow and you're shady. And that's horrible. How is you sitting around living? You talk about clout chasing. That is clout chasing at its absolute best. If you don't understand what clout chasing looks like, that right there is what clout chasing looks like. And I know there's going to be some people real mad about that, honey, but I said what I said. That's how I see it, period. Period. If you want to sit around and the fact that you would risk your daughter being unhappy in her day-to-day life, also you can keep your social status, then you're shallow. And you're a clout chaser. Period. But we can talk about it down in the comments because I know it's going to get interesting. So I'm here for it. We do what we do. Y'all know how we do. Go on down in the comments, honey. But And I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it until Mama speaks. Because I'm sure in these next couple of weeks we're going to see Mama speak. Mama ain't said nothing yet. But both daughters agreed that Mama going to go off. And if Mama go off, baby, then I'm going to rat-a-tat-tat Mama on these reviews. I'm going to drag Mama. And that's just all that's to it. Because that's just, I just can't see that. That's awful. Anyway, I said what I said. Moving on, but I'm going to hold it till Mama say something. Mama ain't said nothing yet. But if that's what Mama got going on, Mama need to go sit down. Anyhow, moving on. Now, we're going back to the farm. So they do the homecoming. They're in the parade and all that. Karen's in the parade. And to these people, she really is, listen, it was giving me Jackie Washington. It was giving, honey, Karen is big in Kinloch, honey. Or whatever the name of her place is. But that's what it made me think of. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Jackie Washington and being big in Kinloch, child, it's from Jackie's Back with Jennifer Lewis. Child, y'all, go watch the movie, honey. You can see it on Netflix or a couple other different places, honey. It will have you screaming. But this is exactly what gave the whole little parade thing and how the people were going up for Karen, honey. It's giving, honey, Miss Karen. The grand dame she's big in Kinloch, honey. The kids was out there was throwing candy and stuff, and people running up to hug her. It was very cute. It was very, very cute to me. I thought it was funny, and I thought it was cute. But Giselle is a hater. Giselle is a whole holy rolling, Bible carrying, front pew sitting, wanting to get back up in the pulpit ass hater. I said it. I said it. You're a hater. You was hating on Karen so hard and hating on the little town. I said, why is she even here? So in the grand scheme of things, I don't even know why you even took Giselle, because Giselle was just doing too much. She's doing too much. She's on my nerves. Sure was. Anyway, moving on. So then we end up seeing, speaking of mothers, honey, I knew it wasn't going to be too long before we seen this one, honey. I said, oh, Lord. Honey, Candiace's mother showed up. Baby, that Candiace's mother showed up, honey, and she is not entertained at all by the fact that her daughter has been rat-a-tat-tatted on, honey. She is pissed. Her mother was like, They went to this little dog shelter, little rescue shelter, and Candiace was trying to pick out the dog. The dog was cute. Little dog named Mobley, honey. They picked him up, but he was shedding all over Candiace's outfit. But he liked her. You can see he liked her. I hope she actually goes back and I don't like dogs and stuff, but you can see that her and the little dog connected right with her. Girl, you need something to love, honey. You really do. I hope she goes back and gets that little dog. I think it would be good for her. I really do. But honey, her mother was like, she wasn't playing no game. She was like, No, honey, I don't even know why is anybody doing any talking, honey. This is the time when we come down and we get our attorneys involved. I said, listen, I ain't mad at it because I was wondering what was taking mommy so long to get there, honey. Don't nobody play that shit. You do not see. That's the thing. When you're 15 and 16 and you be fighting and shit, you be fighting to see who can beat the other person. When you become 20, 21, 25 and on, you fighting to see who gonna live. Okay, now you take that however you take it. You fight to see who lives. And perfect example, me as a person, you know I'm down here on the YouTube streets. You know there's times that beefs break out. One thing you never hear me do, you don't hear me talking no physical assault stuff about people. I don't even indulge. And if I get into something back and forth with someone, just in my adult life period, not just on YouTube, I don't do that. I'm going to do this to you and I'm going to do that to you. I don't do that. I don't indulge in it because I don't see the purpose in it. First of all, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do to you. See, this is when you're grown. Because when you're younger, you'd be like, bitch, I will smack your face, honey. You know, that's when you're younger. And then once you get to a certain age, when you get in them teens, then you stop telling people you'll smack them. And when they know anything, you done already, and you done pop the shit out of them. But then when you get grown, you know, you try to hold it together and you don't say anything at all. And if you have to lay your hands on a bitch and bash her and knock her teeth, knock the spaces out in their teeth and all that, then you don't say anything. It just happens and you just get your checkbook ready and all of that because you already know what's going down. You know, it's going to be lawsuits, a body. You know, it get real in the field. So that's where they at. I don't know what part of the gambit that Monique is on at this point because she's thinking it's cute. She's still on I whooped her ass and I would do it again. And if she say something else, she's on that. And ain't nobody else on that. Everybody else is on, girl, okay, so you get ready to lose your job. Then we're going to see if we can get on up into Chris's pocket. See, that's where everybody else is at. See, that's how adults fight. I ain't going to say adults don't get physical. They do. They definitely do. And I ain't going to tell nobody I won't get physical. Because if you put your hands on me, it's definitely going to be a physical altercation. But what I'm not going to do is sit around and tell you about what you ain't going to do to me when you tell me you... I ain't even doing that. If you've ever heard anybody threaten me, you know that my conversation becomes... I'll say what I got to say, but I ain't going back and forth with you about what I'm going to do to you. Why would I tell you what I'm going to do to you? Why would I sit and tell you what I'm going to do to you? That doesn't make any sense. You know what's better for me? I would prefer you have to come and tell the story or someone else tell the story of what happened to you. That I'm just saying, and I'm here to move on because this is too deep. I'm gone. But that's attorney on deck. That's what's going on with that. Anyway, last thing I'm going to cover here. Monique met with her pastor and pastor's wife. They came to the house. Baby, I hate to be the one to say I told you so, but I did tell you so. I did tell you so. And did her pastor not run up at her house, baby, and told her everything that I've said in the last few reviews about the misplaced anger and the fact that she really wasn't mad at Candiace, that she's really mad at other things that's going on? Did that not end up being the situation? And I'm just glad that she actually got it. I don't even feel, it ain't that I feel vindicated in saying I said it first, but I mean, you can see it. It's sad. You can see it. And then she said, you know, I need to apologize. And they were showing it at the same time. I said, oh, this is terrible because that's how life happens. Reality at its best. At the time that Candiace was saying, you know, I don't know why it went left like that. And Monique was over there saying, you know, I get it. I know what I did. I know what I did wrong. I need to apologize to her. She didn't deserve that. I did love her at one point. I really need to get with her and I need to apologize to her. At that same time, it's too late. They're flashing the screen. Her and her mother sitting down talking about getting attorneys involved. It's too late. It's too late. And then I'm saying to myself, I don't know whether she's really sincere. I think there's a part of her that's sincere. and really realizes that she really ain't mad. Because she does listen to it. You know, I think Monique's very bullheaded. She does listen to her pastor and stuff. But something in me tells me that a lot of that is just damage control. A lot of it's damage control. She's still got that ghetto side to her that don't want to admit to being wrong at the fact that, you know, you whooped the bitch up. You know, I think there's a part of her that still wants to live in, you see what I did to you, bitch. I think there's a part of her that still lives in that space. But yeah, it's a lot. And I feel like I'm babbling now, so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. But it was a very good episode. It was a good episode. You all let me know what y'all think. Do you think, and this is what I'm going to be looking in the comments. I know we got some other things we're going to talk about in them comments, but this is what I'm going to be looking for. Do you think that Monique is sincere in, was it an aha moment, or is it more damage control and kind of trying to clean up what's been messed up? I'll see y'all in the comments, and I'll see y'all back here next week. All right, later. Bye.